Welcome in, everyone. It is the men in red, white, and blue. I'm sorry, orange and black.
USA. USA. USA.
Yes.
Love
With me
it.
is Matt Craig. I'm Steve Murray. We are the men in orange and black, but we are here recording Sunday, February 22nd, after a glorious victory
Wow.
for Team USA in the gold medal game.
I never thought I would ever root for New Jersey Devils, but Jack Hughes, you are the freaking man. I love you to death. And Connor Hellebuck, can you be a Philadelphia Flyer? Really help us out? That would be great. My God.
Those are some tough asks right there.
I know. But
Yes, a day that will live in history. The men, and this is after the women already took down Team Canada in the women's side of the hockey bracket. The
Same
men take care
score,
of business,
same score, same overtime golden goal. I mean, it's free bird all over the place there, bud. Too bad we can't play it here. We'd get in major league trouble, but on this pod. But I mean, both games. The women was just an amazing for them to come back because they were down 1-0 after giving up and then they come back to tie it and then take the lead. And then this men's game was just, I mean, it lived up to the hype. Absolutely lived up to the hype.
You bring up the golden goal by Jack Hughes, a man who bled for his country, taking that high stick from Sam Bennett. Didn't capitalize on the 4-minute power play. That was partially of his own doing when he high sticked somebody else.
Yeah.
Loser of two teeth. But he comes through in the 3-on-3 overtime to give Team USA a 2-1 victory.
Love it.
And I had forgotten, we can give him all the credit in the world for that goal. But give him some more credit because before that rush ever happens, Connor McDavid is barreling down on him one-on-one. And when I realized it was McDavid against Jack, not Quinn Hughes, I'm like, oh, for the love of God.
God, hold on. Yeah.
You think McDavid is like just feeling it. He's got a forward back defending him one-on-one. That's a bull with a red cape.
Yeah.
And Hughes was able to disrupt them just enough to dislodge the puck and get things going back the other way. And kudos to Zach Werenski for really making some good plays.
And how about that Kel McCarr, thinking he had a chance, and that's the risk you run when you have an offensive defenseman out there. Note to Canada, maybe you want to get some defensive defensemen. Just saying. I mean, it mattered. It mattered in the end of the game. I mean, you go in, you try and think you've got an opportunity, but you get chipped by, and it's a 2-on-1, 3-on-1, actually, back the other way.
3-on-1, yeah. And,
Werenski's pass right on the tape to Jack Hughes, and then he just buries it past Bennington's 5-hole right through his legs.
Terrific goal. Absolutely.
Awesome goal.
Great end to an excellent game. Team USA's periods 2 and 3, not so great. They relied a lot on, as you mentioned, Connor Hellebuck, because he had a fantastic game, 40 saves on 41 shots. And none more critical than the one he had on Devon Taves in the crease.
Yeah.
When that puck went to the corner, I'm like, how the hell did that not go in the net?
Right.
I mean, Taves was staring at a wide open net. Next thing you know, it's in the corner. I'm like, what happened?
What
and
happened?
They come back and show Hellebuck's got the paddle down. Bang, ticked off the paddle instead of into the net.
It's just amazing. It's just an amazing goaltender. And then he had, the stop on Celebrini. So Macklin Celebrini had himself a tremendous tournament. Absolutely tremendous tournament. You could see why San Jose, they're going to be geeking out over this guy over the next 10 to 15 years. He stops him on a breakaway, with a game in the balance as well. And you can't heap higher praise upon Hellebuck and Swayman and, their goaltenders. Team USA really built their team around defense. When you have so much firepower on the Canadian side and you know that you're going to potentially meet them in the final, you've got to be able to find a way to limit that offense. And, with the volume of shots they had, I think it was 41 to 27 or something along.
Yep.
I mean, it's an amazing, turn there. But for them to do that, it's unbelievable game.
I give a ton of credit to Captain Austin Matthews. He played defensively.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, his best game defensively.
He made several back checks in the game that were just The first period I thought was their best period. They were back checking. They were anticipating where Canada was going with the puck. They were making great plays in their defensive zone and breaking it out and then establishing the forecheck. Second, after the 5-on-3, they killed off, which was terrific.
Yeah.
For a minute and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're up 1-0 at that point in the
Yeah.
game. And it's like you're thinking like they convert both of those power plays, it's all of a sudden 2-1.
Yeah.
Does not
They
happen.
killed it off, but that also swung the momentum toward Canada because Canada kind of overwhelmed them from that point on.
Yeah.
But they hung strong, stayed strong defensively, and like I said, Matthews had an outstanding game as the captain.
Yeah.
A little bit of a different, I think, role on Team USA than he has with the Toronto Maple Leafs typically.
Yeah. I think that will help him, honestly. I think, I think he's more of a, I think, there's a lot of pressure on him to score a ton of goals because he's obviously in Toronto and all that, that kind of stuff. He's been making like 12, 13 million and whatever the case is. But the way he played in this tournament, and particularly in the gold medal game, to your point, it can only help him down the road, I would think. It's
Absolutely.
like it fits him. He fit that system. It was just so well constructed. The United States was just so well constructed, knowing that they had the talent, but it wasn't overwhelming offensive talent. There's a lot of pressure on those guys to try and score because you're thinking like if you have a McKinnon, a Celebrini, a Crosby, all these guys, you're loaded the bear and you're going to score like 6-7 goals in a game. The moment you go up against a defensive structure, you got to find a way to do that. I just didn't get that sense, at least from what my perspective was. I thought, well, maybe they have an outsider's chance. It was their gold medal to, I basically predicted it was their gold medal to lose, essentially. And, well, they lost it because they just didn't play enough good, sound defense. And their offense, at times, I thought, they were on the ropes a little bit too. During like the quarterfinal, the semifinal, against Finland, they're down 2-0. They got to scramble back to get into that game. It was not a typical Canadian, like all the way straight through, like they're going to blitz all the way straight through to their 10th or so gold medal. I think they put a lot of pressure on themselves to try and score so many goals and not pay attention so much on the defensive side of things. I don't know. Maybe that.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth considering. You get. We haven't even talked about the Matt Boldy goal yet, which was fantastic. Splits Makar and Taves, and then goes in alone on Jordan Biddington with a backhand. That was as pretty a goal as you're going to see.
No.
But yeah, maybe Boldy listens to this podcast. He heard us talking about how you can exploit Makar defensively.
Hey, you never know.
And right there, he did it.
So what do you think of like this tournament overall, like in Olympic history? Was this ranked right up there? First gold for the Americans since 1980. Ironically, the exact same day. I think it was February 22nd, 1980.
Well, no, they didn't win gold in 80 on this day. They beat the Soviets.
They beat the Soviets on this day. That's right. Yeah.
A lot of people forget, like, when they beat the Soviets, that wasn't
the gold.
Like the end.
Yeah.
They didn't win gold till after they beat Finland in the next game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of people don't remember that. It's one of those Mandela effect or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Whatever. But no, it was a good tournament, fun tournament. We had talked about last episode. You gave Finland as your kind of dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up with bronze. I think they really blew a chance to beat Canada. In their game.
Multiple goal leads, which we talk about a lot. I don't know what's going on with this. Up 2-0. Where's the third?
Your boys choked it away.
I know. They had a really sweet jersey. I mean, I loved.
Oh yeah,
that. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. They're lion. It's just it looked kind of 3D-ish on their crest there. It looked great. But yeah, I was disappointed. Slovakia had a really good tournament. Really amazing.
They did, and we don't realize they won bronze in 22, but the NHL players weren't there. So they really did hold their own, despite a lack of overall NHL talent.
Oh, yeah.
They beat, who did they beat? They beat Finland.
Yep.
In the opening round.
I think in their preliminary group, yeah.
In the preliminary group. And then they beat, who was it, Germany?
I think it was Germany. Yeah. They were the fourth seed, I think, if I remember right. And
they were.
Yeah, and so they met up against Germany and beat them. And got to the semifinals against us. And I mean, they had no shot. I didn't think they had any chance against us. I mean, we came through after Sweden, and Sweden was real tough. The Swedes were,
That was a
to
tough
your
draw.
point, the Swedes were no joke in that tournament. They were absolutely really tough. And I thought, like, okay, going into this, they're the 7 seed. And thinking, like, oh, maybe they'll get upset. Nope, they weren't upset.
They're a strong seed.
Oh,
strong
yeah.
7.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game did worry me coming into the knockout rounds.
Yeah.
They're, like I said, Sweden's usually pretty good.
No, yeah.
Got us to overtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I turned the USA Slovakia game on at 5-0, I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Like, I think it was almost that game Friday night or something like that. I was at the bar with a buddy of mine, and saw it was like, oh, it's 5-0. I was like, oh, jeez, it's like, okay, so we're into the gold medal game. This is a lot of fun. That kind of deal.
I was just so mad at the Czechs and the Finns because they had Canada on the ropes.
Yeah,
and it's like, come on, guy. And it's not because I didn't want them to lose because I didn't want to face them in the gold medal round.
Yeah.
Like, I realized Canada-U.S.
it's a premier rivalry.
Lived up to the billing.
Yep, it sure did.
So
yep.
I just wanted them to lose because the comedic value
Oh, yeah.
would have been tremendous.
Although, the pictures that I saw after the Canadians received their silver medals on the ice and them just kind of going, are you freaking kidding me? We have to stand here and get knighted with a silver medal after we lost this game. It's like, that's like the worst feeling. It's got to be the worst feeling in the world. That kind of, we went through it, of course, like up in Vancouver in 2010. So we feel your pain. Not really. Well, we feel your pain. Not really.
Well, it's karma. You put Tom Wilson on the roster. He goes out and does his best to try and hurt people.
Yeah.
Which he did. He took Kevin Fiala basically out for the season for the LA Kings. Tried to take Dylan Larkin's head off in the first period of this game.
Yeah. Yeah, and I heard Eddie Olczyk say, "Oh, he deserved to be on the really." I'm not so sure. I mean, he's having a good year in Washington, but I mean, come on. You're going into the Olympics. You can't fight. I mean, that's like the biggest thing that he's known
and he
for.
did,
and he still did, which to me is like, okay, so you're not allowed to fight. You fight. Did he get suspended? I think
No, he was not suspended.
So what are we talking about here then with the Olympics?
He fought a guy on Team France.
Yeah.
Who was not suspended by the Olympic committee either. But Team France decided to you're done for the tournament because that's not what the Olympics are about.
Is that right?
Hysterical. Yeah.
That's wild. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how, like, especially when you're told, you're going to get it. I mean, it's a game misconduct. It's not 5 and 10, or is it 5 and 10? Yeah,
but it's a game. You're
kicked out of the game. Yeah, so so you have that, but it's like, to not have the France, like you're done for the whole tournament, that kind of a deal, and Crosby getting hurt. I mean, that's a concern. We're going to talk about that in the third period, of course. Like we face them, but. Lower body injury, I think, for what I understand, or something like that, got hurt in.
It'll be. We can talk about it later. It sounds like it's not going to be long term.
Yeah,
they were right up till almost puck drop. They were thinking he might be able to play in the gold medal game, but obviously he didn't.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like rehabbing. You're back in it for like a week later or something like that.
It's not good enough to go.
Yeah, something along those lines.
One of those things.
Yeah.
So, now. The one thing you may hear people complain about is it ends on a 3-on-3.
I have no problem with that. Really? Although it is getting a little tiresome, I think. Just the circling back, and they're kind of reloading.
Well,
and they go into the zone and they make their chance, and it's like, okay.
The thing about it though is in the Olympics, it's not like in the NHL where you switch sides.
Yeah.
So you didn't see the constant regroups because it didn't really give you an advantage. You couldn't keep 3 guys out there for 2 minutes and tire them out.
Yes.
The minute you back out of the zone, they're right at the bench. They can just go.
Easy change, and that's it. Yeah.
So from that perspective, it was a little bit different as 3-on-3, but to me, 3-on-3 is still, it's different than 5-on. So, the Olympics used to be able to end in a shootout. Peter Forsberg famously for Team Sweden in 94.
94, yeah.
I don't like that to decide a gold medal game either.
I agree,
When Crosby scored in 2010 in Vancouver. I had forgotten it was actually 4-on-4.
Okay.
Which is a little bit closer to 5-on-5.
Yeah,
so I like that.
there's still some elements.
3-on-3.
Yeah, there's still some elements. You got to chip the puck, all that kind of good
But
stuff.
as exciting as this game was, and as thrilling as it was for Team USA to win it, it still comes in second to Stanley Cup playoffs to me because they decided if you go into overtime, it's man-to-man 5-on-5. You got to do it. In the moment.
Yeah, and that's that's the best part about the playoff 5-on-5. The playoff overtime rules basically it's 5-on-5. It's best on best. It's not 3-on-3. Now I can understand maybe the casual NHL fan that doesn't let's just say watch every single game or that kind of stuff. I don't know why why these games go to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's because
it's not 3-on-3.
It's not 3-on-3 for one. But it's because the stories that get told after the fact are even better. We know, of course, you and I famously know the Flyers Penguins.
Oh, yes.
2000 season.
I watched that whole damn
You
game.
watched the whole damn thing. And I kudos to you. I always give you the cap to that. I think I fell asleep around 12:30. And it was I think by then we're talking triple overtime. I'm thinking there's just no way I have work in the morning, right? And then at 2:30 in the morning, they ended up scoring the overtime Primo's goal, which was an amazing goal, by the way, off of who was that? It wasn't Barrasso.
Tugnut.
Ron
Tugnut. Yep.
Ron Tugnut, yeah. But, I mean, the stories you hear about, okay, well, you got to get hydrated. You got to get food. And you got pizzas getting delivered to the Civic Center, the old Igloo over there in Pittsburgh. And it's just one thing after another. You're eating pizza, in between overtime periods. And it's oh my gosh, you hear all of these individual stories. It's just great. It's just awesome stuff.
I realize it's hard to do that in the Olympics. I mean, the gold medal game, they're kind of waiting for that to finish so they can do the closing ceremony.
Yeah.
And during, the rest of the tournament, your people are using the ice. It's not like an NHL arena where it's one team.
Yeah.
And you can go all night versus the Olympics where it's all right, we got to get the next 2 teams in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I realize it's tough from that standpoint.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, 3-on-3 or shootout, which one would you prefer to see it end in?
I would probably prefer the 3-on-3. I think the shootout it should be last resort, the absolute last resort to do it. I think I remember, what was it, 2014, TJ Oshie
yep.
being out there, and
over and over.
over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and he was scoring.
That was so good. Yep.
It was just fantastic. It was I think it was Bobrovsky, if I remember right, was in net. So he's beating Bob like crazy over and over and over and over again. Very entertaining, but at the same time, it's oh my gosh, would someone please make a save? That kind of a deal. I would prefer the 3-on-3, even though I think that's getting a little stale in the fact so far that you have to always they're dropping it, but they go into the zone, then they come out of the zone, and then it's you're loading back up and you come back into the zone again, and all that kind of stuff. You're trying to make that one mistake. Totally get that. I think it is a little better than just a shootout. What do you think at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, the shootout is basically a skills competition. The 3-on-3 is not far behind it, but it is. I mean, 3-on-3 could happen in a game if you take enough penalties, technically. So it is something that could occur in game, although very rare. So I don't think it's as much of a problem to end a game in that fashion rather than a shootout.
Yeah,
but I would still have preferred 4-on-4. At least that's a little closer to 5-on-5 hockey.
Now this was 3-on-3, 10 minutes. Would you want 4-on-4, 10
minutes?
4-on-4, 20
minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I could see that.
Way I was going 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, you could still have a mistake, a penalty, and you have a 4-on-3 power play. In that overtime session potentially. Yeah. So there's that. I would. Yeah, that sounds like about 4-on-4, 20 minutes would be really good. 3-on-3, 10 with a 10-minute period, I should say. That was still pretty good. I think. At the end of the day.
Sure.
I think it was really really well done. Just man, Cloud9, man, I love it. I absolutely love this.
Now, if you are an Edmonton or Colorado fan, you ought to be concerned about the usage that McDavid
Oh,
and McKinnon and McCarr all got.
Yeah.
Because they logged heavy minutes,
big time.
especially after Crosby got injured.
Yeah.
John Cooper was rolling McDavid out like every other shift.
Oh yeah. It reminded
and
me. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, and McDavid's already coming off of 2 Stanley Cup final appearances,
Yeah.
so he's played a lot of hockey the last 3 years.
Oh,
and this is not going to help their stretch run.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it kind of reminded me a lot of like, Edmonton. I think it was either game 6 or 7 of like one of the 2 Stanley Cup finals that they were against Florida, where it was just McDavid out there. And it was like, I get it. He's like incredibly talented and he's gifted. Get him some water, give him at least a rest. You can't keep him double shifting, essentially what was happening with him.
I have no doubt he can handle it in the moment, but I think over time,
it's going to wear him down.
by the end of this season, it could wear on him.
Yeah. Which doesn't bode well for my idea of him coming to the Flyers in 2 years. He might be a complete shell of himself, which maybe I need to back off on that, Steve. That kind of a deal. Just saying. But yeah, I would think so. Especially because Colorado, we're seeing like in the standings, they're not quite as hot as they once were. They were just getting to the end of the break, and I think they're like 37-9-9 or something like that. They've had a few losses now. They're starting to come back down to earth. It's going to be interesting now coming off the Olympic break how they rebound and towards the stretch run. We'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, it is a concern. It is a definite concern. Whereas I think the American, for them, but for the Americans, it was just like, okay, we're just rolling our guys out there. It didn't seem like anybody was double shifting at all. You didn't have Austin Matthews doing a double shift or anything of that sort.
No, I felt like I don't think they were rolling 4 lines, but certainly everybody was getting, except for Clayton Keller.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for him as the 13th forward, he just wasn't getting out there. But everybody else seemed to be getting ice time.
Yeah, Horvath won an offensive zone draw, and then immediately you're back onto the back onto the
Well, the U.S. was doing that with Vincent Trocheck too.
Oh,
They would
okay.
throw Trocheck out for a face-off, and then he would scoot off.
Scoot off the
and somebody else would come on.
That's just unbelievable. Yeah,
it's a strategy.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got 13 forwards, you can have specialists. Right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So
and they're only there
not?
to do the draw, and okay, you got to get off the ice real quick.
Yeah,
That's
there you go.
unbelievable. Yeah, it's so funny.
Now, we are a Flyers-centered podcast, so we would be remiss without mentioning the Flyers who participated in this game. Travis Sanheim takes home a silver. Congrats to him.
Yeah.
He played
sorry,
very
not
well.
sorry, but yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
Look, you lose the gold medal game, but you come home with a silver medal. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it means you are at least second best in the world. That's
You're the first loser. That's right. You are the first loser. Okay.
You medaled at an Olympics.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Obviously, it's disappointing not to win gold,
Yeah.
but over time, you're gonna be like, dude, I was a
Silver medalist. Yeah, it's like,
That's
and no one else could say that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to his credit, he played very well. He played very well in this gold medal game. He
Yeah.
played well earlier in the tournament.
He
I
did
think
very
looks
well
good.
overall in the tournament. Yeah, very steadying presence. Had a couple of, I think it was secondary assists on a couple of one of their goals during the tournament. Yeah, he looked really good to me, as did Ristolainen for Finland. I thought he played very well throughout. Being a bronze
I believe,
medalist.
led the tournament or was high up in the tournament plus minus with like +9.
That doesn't surprise
That
me.
is thrown off a little bit by the 11-0 win they had. But
Just
still,
a little bit, yeah.
Ristolainen,
Yeah, just a little
But
bit.
Risto played very well as well, and congrats
Yeah.
to him for winning a bronze medal.
Yeah.
Beating Slovakia. So that's good.
Yeah.
Dan Vildar, I believe, only got in 1 game for Czechia.
I'm very
Which
happy
is
about
good for
that.
us. That means he's
Yeah.
rested.
Yes.
That's good news.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, and again, that was I think our main concern heading into this break. Like, okay, with Vladar having a really good season here, what is that going to translate in the actual tournament itself? And for him to only play once for Team Czechia, and they were out quick, if I remember right. They got to the preliminary. I don't think did they make the quarterfinals?
Everybody made the knockout round. They lost to Canada, so they must have got the first knockout victory.
Yeah, they probably got the first. Yeah,
I don't remember who they beat.
Yeah.
But, they then played Canada. They got knocked out.
And they got knocked out
They
by
had a lead on Canada.
Canada. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, congrats to Sanheim especially. I mean, I know it sucks like losing the gold medal, but to your point, when you're a silver medalist, that's just unbelievable. It's just an amazing accomplishment for you to do that in these sorts of games at such a high stake, and high stakes or whatever. And and Risto having a great tournament for Finland was really solid.
Yep.
We get these guys back; they're both healthy, which is great. It'll be interesting to see how Taka kind of eases them back into, the schedule.
Right.
We'll see.
We'll
see what happens there, but yeah.
Well, and especially for Sanheim, the experience playing with those guys on Canada.
Yeah.
Risto's sort of like an elder statesman,
Yeah.
I think, on Finland.
Yeah.
Whereas Sanheim, he gets to play with guys like Makar and Taves and Colton Parayko, guys who've won Stanley Cup
Yeah.
rings, and forwards like McDavid and those guys. So he gets a lot of experience learning, from guys who have been there, done that.
Yeah.
Hopefully he brings some of that back with him from Italy and can turn it on here at the end of the season.
Yeah, no doubt.
And we come back in the second period. We return you to your regularly scheduled programming, the Men in Orange and Black, the podcast for the sane Flyer fan, despite my appearance in the first period. And actually, before we get to that, I just want to give a quick shout out to Mike Tirico, who I respect tremendously.
Yeah.
But you could tell how much this victory was affecting him, because in his sign off of the broadcast, you could tell he was fighting it emotionally.
Yeah, yeah.
And he gave one hell of a sign off, and very, very nice and very uplifting message for Americans everywhere.
Oh,
So
that's great.
if you get a chance to check that out, make sure you do that.
Yeah, he's one of the more underrated broadcasters I think I've ever heard or listened to. It's just really, really tremendous. So yeah, that's great. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Awesome
All right, but we
stuff.
got Flyers business to attend to now for the rest of the show,
Let's do it.
including for the second period. We're going to talk about where we left off.
Yeah.
And what we have left to do. Third period, we'll get into our usual, hey, here's the games that are coming up.
Yeah.
But right now, we have to remember, because it's been a few weeks now since we've had to suffer through a torturous Flyers hockey game.
Yeah.
So I present to you the Metro Division standings as of February 25th, when play will resume. As you can see, still in sixth place of the Metro, 4 back of the Washington Capitals. But a lot of work to do here, Mr. Matt.
A lot of work to do indeed, Steve. Yeah, really 8 points out of third with the Islanders there, and the Blue Jackets are tied with them as well. So, no question. You're heading into a stretch run here. You got to make a run in order to vault 3 teams, really, just to get into the qualification of the playoffs. Basically, top 3 make it. And then we don't have the wild card standings on here, which we didn't think, but I figured let's take a look at the Metro anyway.
I think they're closer in the Metro than they're in the wild card anyway.
Yeah. The wild card, I think they're also separated by 8 points as well. On top of that, I'll throw that up there just so you see the wild card. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do. And you got to make a run in order to get there. And you were. It's not that we have been harping over the year, hey, you got to make sure to get the points when they're available. And, well, we haven't. And that's the thing that you have to now do. Time is of the essence that you have to get these points upcoming in the standings, or upcoming in the games, I should say, to make a difference in the standings and make a run. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in that regard, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll get into in the third period. We're going to be playing some of the teams ahead of us in both the Metro and the wild card, so they're going to be hugely important games if you want to try and climb back into this thing. You've got a couple games in hand on some of these teams, but you got to win those games to make them count. And it's going to be a tough climb, because a lot of these teams were playing pretty well going into the break.
Yeah.
I don't recall a lot of teams that were sinking at that point. So it's gonna be a haul.
Oh yeah.
So that leads to the next question: who, in your mind, needs to step up here in this last stretch of, what do we got, 26 games?
Something like
left?
that. Yeah, probably close to darn near 30, I think. It's a great
Played
question.
56, so it's 26.
26, yeah. Man, with 82. So yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna be interesting. Zegras, I think, cannot go into a scoring slump like he did heading into the Olympics. He was down a little bit. We need him to absolutely step up in these last 25, 26 games, really to make a run. I think he's an important piece. Michkov, how well will he do? A lot of pressure on him by the Flyers brass. And, well, not the Flyers brass, the media. For him to step up and to say, okay, you've had a couple weeks off. How well are you going to, come in? He did very well after the Four Nations tournament. Can he repeat that success that he had last year?
They're going to need him. They're going to need him to be that player if they're going to make the playoffs.
No doubt.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
If he's the same player he's been the rest of the season, I don't think they make it. If he can do what he did after Four Nations last year, that's a huge step to me.
Yeah, it's a massive improvement too to the roster. I would also Sean Couturier. He's been very quiet, very, very quiet. I would want him to step up a little bit. I know he's doing a lot in the leadership role, being the captain, but you got to show that on the ice too. And if you could get, I think he has 5 goals in the year right now. You get him to 15, that's 10 goals in the
26 games. That's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, you're scoring every other game. So, I mean, that's a lot to ask, but I mean, if you get an improvement out of him, to making the stretch run, I mean, that would be huge. I would think having that, considering that he scored all of 15 goals last year. So for a really bad Tortorella team. So, I mean, there's an opportunity there for him to step up as well. Defensively, who do you think, Steve, would need to step up their game?
I mean, not as a defenseman, but we certainly need Sam Ersson to step up. Assuming he's still the backup when play resumes, you're going to need, out of 26 games, maybe 8 starts out of him?
Yeah.
Maybe 8 or 9?
Yeah.
In that stretch, and those can't be backup goaltender losses.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He's got to make an effort to keep the team afloat so they have a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be giving up deflating goals, can't be giving up, weak ones, can't be giving up too many.
Yeah.
He's got to step up, certainly, if we want to have any hope, because you're going to need to win those games when Dan Vladar is not in net.
Oh, yeah.
And that has been a challenge through the first portion of the year.
No doubt.
So that's going to be important. And I think if you want to talk about a defenseman, assuming Risto is still here, I'd like to see him step up
a little bit.
Really be the player we know he can be.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that would go a long way. You have to have a big, physical, tough defenseman in the lineup would be very helpful, because a lot of the guys the top 4 are smaller and not as physical, so it's good to have somebody who can bang around a little bit. And Sanheim coming off of a silver medal in Italy. Would be important for him to really step up and be the player we know he can be here towards the end.
Damn, what he showed in Italy as well. I would argue Kim York. I
thought about that too.
Yeah, I was thinking York would have to be a major piece to this, to try and chip in with goals, block some shots, get passes out of the fences, whatever the case is. For him to step up his game a little bit, I think would be huge on the defensive side. Contributing on the power play as well, things along those lines. So, yeah, there are a few people, I think, if you get them to really contribute offensively, more so than what they've done or haven't done over the last, let's just say, handful of games, 10, 15 games. This is the opportunity. This is the players. Part of the rebuild process is the players have to dictate exactly what's going on. But Briere said that multiple times, and I would tend to agree. Part of it is the onus is on them. They have to find a way to understand the system, what they have to do defensively, and then from that moment, translate that defense into offense and convert their chances in the offensive zone. And if they're able to do that, Who's to say? I think a lot of these teams, the Islanders, the Blue Jackets, and the Capitals, they all have flaws in some form or fashion. And, I don't think the Capitals are going to be there. I think they're going to be 6. I think we could leapfrog them. But the question is, what about Columbus? What about the Islanders?
Right.
And I would even argue Pittsburgh, with Crosby being out a little bit of a ding. I think they're playing above expectations as well. I don't think they're as good as their record indicates. I think they've taken advantage of their schedule, of course, but they also have 12 overtime decisions as well. So with only 29 wins altogether. So be interesting how they hold up in all of this too. The Rangers, I know we can write off. I would even argue the Devils, maybe, but they're dangerous because you never know what you're going to get out of them, even though they're like hovering around Hockey 500. It's very unusual that they're so low in the standings. They're 11 points out of the playoffs, so really depends on how well they come out of the break too, I think, within that first 5 or 6 games.
Yep.
To depend on what they do before the trade deadline.
Sure.
So we'll see.
All right, so now let's prognosticate. What are the 3 keys that you think are necessary for the Flyers to make the playoffs this season?
That was such a great question. I'm glad you put that in the show notes.
So you had time to prepare?
I actually had a little time to prepare. I was just like, okay, let me just think about this. Well, number one has to be consistent goaltending. That's been the problem all year, particularly in the backup role. Bjarnason, I think, being, okay, we're going to have you take a look-see of what's going on with the big club, with the practices was very interesting to me.
I think that's just practice time.
I think so too, but it's kind of like, it's very interesting considering that we have a backup goaltender that has sucked the entire year. He has not done well. It'll be interesting to see how well they do, I think, with the goaltending situation. How well does Vladar continue? I think he will be steady. But the question is, you need those, let's just say, 6 extra points on a back-to-back, right? So, like, if you have games where you need 2 points, but you played the night before, because you put yourself in that kind of a position, is your backup goaltender, can he steal you 2 points in that situation?
I'm not even saying he needs to steal 2 points. He has to be competent and give them a chance. That's all I'm saying. We don't need Sam Ersson to morph into Dominik Hasek circa 1998.
No.
Right?
No.
We just need him to be steady Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to give up 2 goals, that's fine. Make sure they're not garbage goals, but give us a chance so we can score 3.
Yeah. Right.
And I agree with you. One of my keys is absolutely steady goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be up and down and up, fantastic performance and then crap. And
crash.
Yeah. And crap.
That's just not going to work.
Let's get a high baseline that we have to achieve. Goaltending will be absolutely important.
Yeah, big time.
To make the playoffs.
Yeah, big time. My second point, the power play. The power play, I would argue, has to improve up to 20%. So, we're at 16% now. We wanted 18 to begin the year, but we were at 20 at one point, right? You and then we got greedy. But part of the early success that we had in early October and November, when we were collecting points in the standings, was our power play was really, really good. And we weren't struggling with the power play. So if your power play improves up to a 20% clip for this season, so that means from 16 to 20, that means you're scoring goals one out of every 4, and you're doing that consistently as best you can, but you do 1 out of every 4, that gives you a fighting opportunity. That gets one of the 3 goals that you mentioned, Steve. It gives you, if you're able to do that in the power play, that's a huge, huge boost. So you got to convert your power play chances. I think that is a key second ingredient to this in order to get into the postseason.
And
for you,
I also agree, but it's more special teams overall.
Yeah.
You need
penalty
kill to be functional. Penalty kill has been on the upswing prior to the break, so that was good. We were showing improvement on the penalty kill. I still think we're taking too many penalties overall.
Yep.
Untimely penalties.
Yep.
But the penalty kill has to be good, and your power play has to be better.
Yes.
So
better
16%.
I love how you said that because that emphasizes the word significantly better.
Exactly.
In that regard.
16%. We got it. It's got to come up.
Yeah,
18.
has to come
you
up.
say 20. I say 18. If you're at 18, at least it's giving you a chance in your game.
Right. Yeah. I'm saying, I think when I said 20, my goal is to get third in the division. That's the way I'm looking at this, not wild card. But I agree also with your point. If you're at 18, that gives you a fighting chance to get into the postseason, which I'll take, which I will absolutely take. And then my third.
Now, that doesn't mean stop at 18. You
right.
keep going.
You just got to keep going. Right. But that's the minimum. Yeah. Now, my third take would be you got to string together long winning streaks. So you win 5 or 6 in a row. Okay, you lose one, but you'll go back onto another 5 or 6 game winning streak. I mean, that's the biggest challenge right now. You have to make up points in these standings, and you got to do it quickly. And the only way to do that is you beat people in regulation. That's the only way to do it. Or a shootout. You could do it via a shootout win or an overtime win, whatever the case is. But in order for you to leapfrog people in the standings, you have to win hockey games. That there's no other way about it. Buffalo showed us during the season. They rocketed up the standings with their long winning streak. I would think if you do that twice during the month of March in particular and heading into April, you've got a fighting chance to do it. And I'm talking 5, 6, or 7 straight wins. I think they've only done a 3-game winning streak so far this year, and I think that was back in December, if I remember right. So that's a tall ask for this team because they haven't done it all year. But in order for you to do it, in order to get into the tournament, you got to do it. And this is the time to do it in that regard. So those would be
I don't think you necessarily need 5 games in a row kind of streak. I think you could win 5 of 6, combine a 2 and a 3. Depends on who you lose to.
Yep.
You lose to a Western Conference team, okay, we can shove that aside.
Yep.
But if you lose to, say, the Capitals, that's not so good. That's a 4-point swing.
Yeah.
That won't happen.
Divisional.
But if you win 5 out of 6,
yep.
I think it's still the same effect. You've won 5 games out of 6.
Mm-hmm.
You got 10 points in a short span.
Mm-hmm.
Work. My third key is more esoteric. It's focus. With so many teams that you have to get over, I don't think you can be a mode of scoreboard watching or trying to figure out what other teams are trying to do. You just have to win your game.
Yeah, right in front of you.
If you win your games, things will take care of themselves. Don't worry about anybody else at this point. Just focus on yourself, your game, and getting the win that night.
Yeah.
Don't look ahead. Oh, we got the Islanders, or we already played the Islanders. We've got the Capitals in 5 days. No, focus on tonight.
Yep.
Get 2 points tonight, and then move on.
Yeah.
And don't worry about who else is winning. Don't watch the scoreboards. Don't watch TV. Don't listen to people. You could listen to us, but don't listen to just win, baby.
This is an interesting question I have. It just came to my mind, and I wanted to get your take on this. Laviolette, when he was coach here, Peter Laviolette, treated 7 games as if you're in a 7-game series. So
oh yeah, I remember that.
So what are your thoughts on that heading in? Piggybacking off your focus comment, because I think that's a great point. Do you treat these next 25, 26 games in an increment where, okay, you've got 7, you got your first 7, like we do. We have your 6. Right. Can you win 4 of 6? Can you win 4 of 7? Is that the kind of focus that we're talking about here?
I think that's too far. I mean, 7 games.
That's
long. When you break things into 7-game series, you're like, oh, we got to win the 7-game series. So that means you go 4-3 at a minimum, right?
Yeah, right.
4-3 is not going to get you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think you need at 7. You're going to need to win at least 5 of each 7-game set to have a chance. Because so 26 games, 3 7-game sets is 21. That would be 15.
Yeah.
We said you're going to need 30-some points
easily.
Last episode.
Yeah.
So that's 15, and you got to win out of your last 5 out of that set. You got to win 3 more.
Yeah.
So you minimum of 5. I don't think you can treat them as series at this point because that's just it's not enough wins to stack right? I
Yeah.
think it's got to be one game at a time.
Time.
Early in the season, I like that approach.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the
Kind of just
7-game
build
slate.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, build on that. Okay, we
Mhm.
won game 1. Let's keep going and win game 2.
2.
I like that approach when you've got a lot of games ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're getting this late in the season and you know you have to win a ton of games,
Yeah.
I think 7 is too much to focus on. I think you need to focus on the here and now.
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
got to be one game at a time.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Free bird!
Free bird!
Free bird!
Free bird!
Free bird!
Free
Listen,
bird!
we are over the moon here since Team USA capped the Olympics with a huge hockey victory. So why not take a trip with W's Lunar Strawberry Margarita? Actually, that sounds illicit. Scratch that. Just try this W energy drink flavor. Even though it's colored blue, it is flavored for red strawberry margarita. Perfect for celebrating a U.S. victory, red, white, and blue. If you use our promo code, that's men in orange and black. Remember the ampersand, not the word and. You can get $4 off this $40 tub or 10% off of others in W's inventory.
Hey, Steve. Before we get started in the third period here, we're supposed to get like 2 feet of snow or something like that.
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah, no,
I was 8 to 12 was the last time I heard. So my snowblower is not up to peak operating efficiency. I don't need 2 feet.
Right? Yeah, and it's like this heavy wet snow, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? At least I'm parked next to my neighbor's car, so I'm able to at least clear it off for her. But it's like heavy wet snow and shoveling to me doesn't really work. I'm not a big fan of this for Monday, so I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Well, you do realize like the snow from last time.
Yeah.
Which turned out, I looked back, it was January 26th that snow came down.
Crazy.
It was on the ground for like 4 weeks until it finally melted this week with the warmer temperatures. People had put their Christmas trees out on the sidewalk to be thrown away. They got covered by that snow. Now that the snow is melted, they're visible again. But I'm not sure they're getting picked up.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's so funny too that there's some neighbors of mine that still have not taken their Christmas lights down. From people from church. So I'm like, how is that possible?
I got my balloons off the lawn
nice
the day the snow started.
Yeah.
Back in January.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that problem, but I did leave the lights on the bushes because I'm like, I'm not dealing with that until it's warm.
Until it's warm out, right?
Because that's a painful process. The balloon I just pick up and carry it away.
Can you imagine?
Have to be wound.
Oh my gosh.
But enough about that. You came here to hear about Flyers hockey.
Yeah.
We've put this off as long as we can. It's the next slate of games. 6 of them, in fact, most of them on the road because we played all our home games already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So starting, we come back on February the 25th. That would be a Wednesday in the nation's capital, facing Washington Capitals and their non-Olympian Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah. I wonder why that was the case. Dun, dun, dun. I'll figure that out later. Well, yeah.
Capitals are 4 points up on us, but that we have 3 games in hand.
Now,
which is the good news. The bad news is there's like 5 other teams in between.
Well,
us in a playoff spot besides the Capitals.
Focus one game at a time, right? I mean, you win this game, you're within 2 points of them.
Yes.
So pretty big game
the
right out of the gates. Yeah.
The Capitals had been on a hot streak before the break. They had won 4 out of 5 before we stopped for the Olympics. So they were one of those teams playing well. We will have to see if momentum carries over or if it is halted. And my vote is it should be halted.
Yes, I agree. I 100%
now,
agree.
interestingly, the Capitals' power play is operating on the season at 16.38%. So not much better than ours, which is strange given the presence of the Great Eight. But I still don't want to take penalties, but
no.
At least their power play is not as dangerous as it has been in years past. And I believe, were we one of the teams? Yeah, we were the one loss for them in that 5-game span.
Yes.
So that's good news.
Yes. That was the Drysdale game winner.
Yes.
That was
right.
a big game there. Yeah. No, big game. Huge game right out of the gate, right? And you're talking one game at a time from last period. You know, you win this, you're within 2 of them, 2 points of them. So, and if you lose it, I mean, I don't know what would happen if we were to lose. So go in there, focus, get the job done, get 2 points coming out of that by hook or by crook. And you're right back into the standings, right back into it. So it's a huge game right out of the gates, So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And then a huger game the night following. So we start back to back immediately.
Now,
Whee!
here's the thing. This is the Rangers. They have tanked. They are not good. If we do not beat this team 6-2, Steve, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to absolutely lose it. I might turn to Brody, Hunter Brody. Okay.
We're going to put your face screaming on it
like that, right? I mean, it's something like the.
Look. You
They have to
win this game.
Yeah.
You have to. The Rangers in the calendar year 2026 are 3-12. They lost their last 4 games before the Olympics.
Panarin is traded.
Panarin is traded to LA.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Shesterkin,
Hurt.
Adam Fox, Connor Sheary, all on injured reserve.
Yeah.
Their top 3 scorers, the Rangers,
Mm-hmm.
were all playing in Italy.
Yeah.
They need to be, and 2 of them, JT Miller and Trocheck,
Yeah.
were in the gold medal game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So they got to be tired. You have to win this game.
They have to win it. You must win this game. Yeah. I mean, you get that would be 4 points, and then all of a sudden you'd be tied with the Caps heading into this, right after the Rangers game. So hopefully that happens, and that kind of a deal.
But you see here already, there's a back-to-back.
Yeah.
I maybe coming out of the break because everybody should be fresh, and Vladar didn't play in the Olympics. Maybe Tocchet goes Vladar both games. It wouldn't be unprecedented to start somebody in back-to-backs, but right off the bat, you're probably going to have a backup goalie game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of the keys, goaltending.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah. Right away. So we'll see. Holding our breath in that regard. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to get those 4 points because
Yeah.
the first home game after the Olympics comes that Saturday when they take on the Boston Bruins, who had lost their last 2 going into the Olympics. But before that, they had won 10 of their last 12 games.
Oh, God.
And their power play is operating at 26.35%. So don't take penalties.
Yeah. Stay out of the box. All that
Exactly.
kind of good stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
And they happen to also have the highest shooting percentage player in the league in Morgan Geekie at 24.8%. He's got 32 goals on the year. That's kind of out of nowhere.
That's a funny name. Morgan Geekie. That kind of a deal. Geekie.
Yeah. So important you get 4 out of those 2 earlier games because Boston's going to be tough.
Yeah. And and coming back off of the MSG game. So, yeah, I don't want to say it's another big game, and it is because a lot of these games now, you're heading into late February, early March. They're huge. They're huge games, and Boston is no exception. Boston's always given us fits throughout the entire franchise history of the Flyers. So, yeah. I mean,
For my lifetime.
For our lifetimes, yeah. Which makes the 2010, that kind of deal all that much more sweeter for us because we don't have much, that kind of a deal. But, yeah, we'll see.
Right.
See how they
if
do.
you're down at Xfinity Mobile, are you going to stick around after the game? High school.
Oh.
Senior night.
Nice.
Well, my son's not a senior, but the team's playing.
Oh, there you go. So are you going to the game then? Are you going to the game?
No, I am not. I am not going to the. It's the game is not until 8:30.
Oh, okay.
So this Boston Bruins game will be long over.
Yeah, it'll be long gone. Yeah.
But I just wanted to give my son a plug.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Anyway, after that, the Flyers take off to go to the capital of the nation that was just defeated in hockey. Defeated. That would be the Toronto Maple Leafs. However, their captain won a gold medal.
Yeah,
because he's an
exactly.
American.
Boy, isn't that
irony.
ironic? Oh, goodness.
There had been some thought that the Leafs had maybe figured some things out, but they actually they had lost 6 straight, but they won the last 3 before the Olympics, so they looked to be on the upswing. But this is another game you got to win.
Yeah.
They're with you in the standings. They're 28th in goals against. You got to score.
Yeah.
They've had a goaltending carousel. They've had 5 different goalies over the course of the season.
Yeah, I think Stolarz
It's
has been
unsettled.
hurt, I think, if I remember right. Wolf's been hurt. So there's a lot of guys that's been dinged up. Wool, I should say, has been hurt. Has been hurt. So, yeah, a great opportunity to take advantage. You don't have Marner, of course, is playing for Vegas. And Nylander, I know, has been out, I think, for a little bit of time as well. Flipped the media
play in the
off.
Olympics.
Yeah, NHL fined him, apparently, for flipping people off up in the skybox, which was hilarious, right? $5,000.
Find me. Find me.
Why are you right now? So
You have no authority over me.
How dare you? That kind of deal. So yeah, they'll be interesting to see going up there. First visit, I believe, to
Really?
to the Air
played them
Canada.
Twice already. They were both here.
But they were both here. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Last time we see the Maple Leafs, I believe, as well, for the entire year. So
Got it. Well, that's good because we lost both of the other two games.
yeah, so we have to win this one. Yeah. That kind of
All right. Then the Flyers come back home after a 2-day break to take on the Utah Woolly Mammoth.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, are the first wild card in the West. So they are in playoff position.
Yep.
Although Logan Cooley has been out for them since December 6th. Now that we are post-Olympic break, he may return. That would be bad news for us. Karel Vejmelka is their goalie. He leads the league in wins, but for some reason the Czechs didn't feel like playing him in net.
Yeah. Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know.
All right. But, hey, we got a bunch of goals on him in the game in Utah. That's the one we
Yeah, we
chipped
kind
away
of
a
choked
little
that
bit
one
at the
out.
end
Yeah.
there. Yeah, so let's avenge that loss.
I think I hear the word focus again. Someone's saying that. Focus. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this would be one you would have to focus in and play a full 60.
Focus.
Yes. Right? You got to play a full
that
60
should have been a
against this
key.
team.
Play a full 60.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's a game. If you're going to lose a game in this 6-game stretch, that's the only one where it would be okay because they're a Western Conference team, so you're not giving anything up.
Oh, right. That's true. That's a good point.
But I'm assuming you're not going to win one of the other games, so you better win this one.
Which we'll talk about just for a few minutes. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Then we finish off what? Yeah.
We go into Pittsburgh
Yeah.
to play the Penguins.
Their stupid penguin logo. I hate them.
Yeah, I know you call them frauds. I will point out since December 23rd,
Yeah.
they are 14-6.
Yeah.
And a lot of I get this information from hockeyreference.com, and they have these little bar charts on a timeline, right? And they show the wins or losses, and the height of the bar is by margin of victory.
Yeah.
The Penguins have a lot of large bars in there.
Yeah.
A lot of these wins were by 3 and 4 goals.
Yeah, which is concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of that. I saw that when you had it in the show notes, and I was like, huh. So they're not the frauds that I think they are.
Well,
Maybe.
we don't know. I didn't look at the opponents they played,
Yeah.
so I can't
That's
judge,
true.
really.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing straight numbers to you.
I love it.
Completely out of context. And you can do with them as you will.
Watch that go down short. No, and it's a divisional game, right? And, we talked about 4-point swings before, divisional game in their barn. So, it's going to be interesting. We have had success in their barn, though, over the years. So, who knows? Maybe that's an opportunity.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first time we'll
Yes.
be facing Stuart Skinner in net?
It's either the first or the second time. I can't remember if he was in the net. I don't think he was in the net when he got traded. When we played them in the XMA about a month ago. I don't think he was in the net
That
then.
was the 6-3 loss
Yeah.
where they had like 3 power play goals.
Yeah,
or
it was
something
totally
like that.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I don't remember who was in net for that. But,
Yeah.
Skinner, although boasting an 8-4-1 record since joining the Penguins, and a 2.72 goals against, which isn't bad. He is an 887 save percentage.
Yeah, he could get got there, Steve. I mean, and I would imagine
Although-
he's starting that game against at home against us on the 7th,
Yeah.
I would think.
Now, somehow the Penguins are 9th in the league in goals against. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could think of is, you mentioned before with the hockey reference and the bars, all that kind of stuff with the outscoring people. Maybe that's
Well,
it.
they're yeah, but I mean, there's outscoring people 8-5, and there's outscoring people 4-1.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So they're somehow not allowing very many goals, which
Yeah.
is going to be tough. But
Mhm.
Pittsburgh has become the old folks' home, so hopefully their legs start to fall off.
Yeah. And you never know how long that Crosby injury is going to be. I would imagine he'll probably be back, though, by the time we play
Yeah,
him.
but at that point, it's 2 weeks. So
Yeah, I would think.
one would think he'd be back.
He'd be
but
ready to
who
go.
knows?
Yeah.
A setback, Matt sneaking over there with a tire iron. I don't know.
Whack. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that all goes out. But
it was him, Your Honor.
that's what. That was me. I'm sorry. Go to bang. Yeah, that kind of deal.
All right, so there you have it. 6 games,
12 possible points.
12 possible points. You need 10.
You do. Part of me goes, okay, realistically, what are we looking at here versus what we're hoping for?
All right, realistically, you could realistically get 4 points out of that opening back-to-back.
Yeah.
You've beaten Washington before.
Yes.
It's not like they're leagues ahead of you.
And for God's sakes, you should beat the hell out of the Rangers in their barn.
Absolutely.
Especially after everything that they've gone through in this entire year. Let's go into the MSG with them chanting fire jury. Please, let's let that happen. And we're up to, you were outscoring them like 8-2 up there. That would be amazing.
Avenge our pain.
Yes.
Avenge it.
Please do that. The Boston game at home, going to be hard. Not going to lie. Really tough. Toronto is interesting.
Toronto's hard. I mean,
yeah.
I know they've had their struggles, but we struggle with Toronto.
Yeah.
In Toronto. So
yeah.
And Matthews is going to be all happy coming back with his gold medal.
Oh yeah.
So he's going to be ride that high for a little while.
No doubt. Utah, I would imagine bounce back game. I would think, especially with 2 days prior, you would think the coaching staff would be like, you guys remember what happened when we went out there, right, against this team, and we choked it away. Now they're coming here. Full 60 minutes, right? So you would think that that's drilled into their heads. And then your, Pittsburgh rivalry. So I see 8 in there. I think you could beat Washington Rangers back to back. I think if you do that, you got a great shot. Boston's going to be hard. I think that's an L. Toronto, I agree with you, but if you get a point out there, so that's 5. You got 7 with the Mammoth, and I'm going to say overtime loss in Pittsburgh. That's 8, which is that could be done. I could see that happening, but it's all in the players, man. It really is. What do you think?
See, I want 10 so bad.
I know.
And you could get there.
You can.
Like
I could see it. You could get 10.
All right, so get those 4 on Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
Today, for those of you who are watching.
Yeah, see?
Premiere goes. This is the first time we've done a game where there was no game in between where we're kind of like.
Yeah, I think it's like November. I think it was the last time. Yeah. So it's been a while. Yeah.
All right, so get those 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to get 6 out of the last 4 games. So beat Utah.
That's okay. Yes.
6.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you got Boston, Toronto, Pittsburgh.
I'm going to say beat Toronto because have the worst record of the 3 remaining.
Yeah.
So that gives you 8. Then just get to overtime in Boston and Pittsburgh, and
there you get 10.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's certainly doable. And I think I certainly would be happy with that if you get 10 out of 12 in that fashion, in that regard. But it all starts tonight against Washington.
For you folks, not for me.
How about,
I still have to wait a long
How about that promo? It all starts tonight with the Washington Capitals. So you got to do it. You got to go out there. You have to, this is a prime opportunity for the team to make a statement. A lot of pressure on this rebuild. A lot of, is this team good enough to make the playoffs? We'll see. We shall see what happens. But yeah, all starts tonight, man. That's what it's all about. Washington, then the Rangers. And if you don't get 4, I don't know.
Yeah, if we don't get 4 out of those 2 games, that's going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Really
but then they'll beat Boston and Toronto, and then we'll be fine.
You dropped all those games, terrible teams, the Rangers. Then you go and you beat Colorado. You go and you beat Vegas.
Get us on the road.
That's how the season is gone.
Right, exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
So you're right. They're going to lose to the Rangers, and they're going to they're going to smack Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to smack Toronto in Toronto.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be like, what the hell is
what is going on here? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah. All right. So that ends the third period for us. No overtime. Just to point out, the trade deadline does occur in that period.
yeah, Friday the 6th. Yeah.
We have not really heard much in the way of rumors over the Olympic break, so there's nothing to really break down. But if the Flyers end up doing something significant, unlike your Philadelphia 76ers, we may drop an emergency podcast. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Depends on how important it is.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. You know, if we're just moving Tomasino for a pick, it's like, no, we're not showing.
Or if Risto gets moved for a pick, probably not, I would think. Yeah, that kind of, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But you have 2 weeks now of Flyers hockey to keep you occupied while we are gone. So we say to you, sane Flyers fans, until then, let's go Flyers and America.